Senate Majority Whip John Barrasso, he is with us from the great state of Wyoming, and here you are. Congress has a role to play if it wants it. Maria Cantwell's a senator from Washington. She says this about 7 Republicans. Watch.
Well, the first day of introduction, we signed up 7 Republicans. So usually you don't get a first introduction and get so many people on board. But I think it shows the anxiety that people have. I'm sure if they listen to their constituents, consumer challenges are already starting to surface, and certainly the stock market's impact on retirement income is shaking a lot of people.
There has been criticism for many moons about Congress not using its full authority or its ability as a co-equal branch of government. Tariffs is a place where it could. Where do you stand on that and these 7 Republicans who said, let's do something different?
Well, first, as you said, Congress has a role to play, which is why just this past weekend we passed part of our comprehensive economic program to make sure that we have a strong, healthy, growing economy. We passed it Saturday morning that focuses on tax cuts, to make sure that we make these tax cuts permanent so we don't have this $4 trillion tax increase, that we unleash American energy to get energy prices down. You saw that those prices are already down today, to make sure we secure the border. Congress has a role to play. Tariffs are one part of this broad economic program, and there are now members of Congress that want to do more and have a bigger role. For the last 90 years, Congress has given the president more and more authority on tariffs. Specifically, national security, for unfair trade practices. President Trump is fully within his authority, and I appreciate what the president is doing on tariffs, specifically in our home state of Wyoming. In terms of beef, the cattle producers,
Bingo.
They're saying it is about time.
Yeah.
One of the countries that you just showed on that slip before I came on, Australia. Australia has sold $29 billion worth of beef in the United States, and we haven't been able to sell one hamburger in Australia because of barriers. They showed Thailand 30% tariffs on beef coming from the United States. Vietnam 50%. You look at these numbers, and the ranchers of Wyoming are saying, thank you, Mr. President. It is about time.
We have an Illinois rancher coming on our show this afternoon who they're applauding these tariffs, saying it is about time, pointing out exactly that, the amount of money, $29 billion. Australia sells beef to the United States. Not a dollar of our beef goes to Australia. So they're cheering this on. I talked to a shrimper on Friday. The shrimping industry, the fishing industry in the United States. I mean, it's not just been an overnight change. I mean, this has been decades of decline for them, where we are importing more and more. So we hear them, and that's got to be a part of this, because the stock market's getting a lot of the headlines. So is the White House championing this message for them, for all those Americans who feel like, they've lost out to unfair trade practices over many, many years?
Well, they are. I was with the president in the Rose Garden last week when he signed the agreement on the tariffs. The other issue is China. And I think with COVID, what we saw is that we were so dependent on foreign countries for critical minerals, critical materials, critical medicine, that we had to say, never again. Yeah. Never again can we be dependent on all of these countries. We need to bring those manufacturing jobs back home. But China has been absolutely the worst. They steal our trade secrets. They've been taking jobs away. And in terms of fentanyl that's coming into this country, where are the precursors coming from? China. China has gotten rich off of the United States, and they wanted to buy land near F.E. Warren Air Force Base in Cheyenne. We prevented it, but
we
China
said no.
Has been, what we see, they have been buying land so that they can spy on us. I mean, they're looking at near military bases. So it's important for our health, our security, our national security.
The Dow's down 1,600. S&P just entered bear market territory. Senator Kennedy was on our airwaves at the end of last week and said, at some point we have to recalibrate if we keep hitting new lows like this. Is there a point at which the stock market hits where you say, we've got to rethink our strategy here?
Well, people are absolutely following this, focused on this, tuning into you and others this morning, seeing what's happening with their investments, their 401ks, their retirement plans. A strong, healthy economy, long term, is what's necessary. That gives the best stability to those issues. And what we're going to see is why we passed what we've done, why the House needs to get that. We need to get that to the president as quickly as possible to give people the certainty that they know we're doing, blocking this $4 trillion tax increase that the Democrats are promoting. We got a lot of work to do to reverse the 4 years of problems that we had as a result of the Biden administration that got us to the highest inflation in 40 years. They've done so much damage to our economy. We need to change directions 180 degrees, smaller government, more jobs to America, more money in people's pockets so that they can then, live the American dream, pay for their groceries, pay for energy, pay for their mortgage. That's what our long-term economic plans are.
Senator, thank you so much for being here in person, indeed, on this breaking news day as we just get underway.
Thanks for having me.